In this quick tutorial, I'm going to show you how to create a custom form with a cool confetti animation in Framer for your successful page. Hi, my name is Sergey and welcome to my channel. Please subscribe if you haven't already and hit that like button below. And without further ado, let's go to Framer and design some custom forms with crazy animations. Okay, I have already opened my file. Also, I have these assets that we're going to be using. That's the thank you text. Here it is. And this will be our button. And also I have this get in touch. And also I'm having this color sample that we're going to be using for our background color. Okay, so let's create our first page with the form. So I select my frame, my desktop frame, and I use color picker to create this background. Now I drop in get in touch here. I changed color to white, and now I need to create a form. So I go insert forms, form, and here is a pre-made Framer form, and now we'll need to customize it a little bit, and we'll remove basically this is just a group of different stacks with labels. You see, this is like special stack, it's called label, and I remove the name and also the location selector. I'll leave only email and the button that we're going to be using. Now we need to customize it a little bit. Let's change the color of the label to white, and let's change the label a little bit. So the placeholder color will be also white, maybe just a little bit darker like this, and this color is white. This is actual text when we going to be inserting the text here, so the placeholder will be a little bit darker like this, but the text when we enter it will be white. Let's check it. Yeah, you see it's white. Okay, and now let's change the button. I double click on the button and I go to the component. This is a pre-made component from Framer. It's a special button for the form. So here I want to change the color of it. I'll change it to white, and I'll change the text to this color that I had for the background. Let's check it. Yeah, this one. Copy, and let's go to the button again, select the text layer and insert the color here. Yep, that's it. Now hover. For the hover, I will be using the same white, but I want to make it about 50% opacity, and the pressed one will be also white, but with about 30% of opacity. Okay, and the spinner, I need to change it again, so I'll change the color of it to the color that I'm using, and also I need to change this gradient that is used to make this effect. Yep, right here. I need to change it over here. Yep, like this. So basically it's a gradient with you see, with two colors. One goes to white and the opacity is 0, and the other color is our main color that we're using. So it's like on the top. It says on top. All right. So this is how it looks. And this is disabled. Okay, we'll leave it like this. And success, we also need to change the color of it. So we're changing the color to this one, dark blue. Let's go home and let's check. See, everything works. Submit. Yep, everything is fine. Now we need to select this label for email and make it required. So I selected this input and I click require. I can change the name of this placeholder That's what we're actually getting in our email when someone submits the form. We're getting this information about this person, and we can call this in any way we want. And the placeholder can be anything that also we want. So we can just change it to hello. And here it will be something like example.com. Yeah, like this. Now let's create a success page. We need it because when we click on submit, something has to happen, not just a thank you button. I don't like that. I like the person to have some special effect or some special thanks for submitting the form. So that's why we need an extra page for it. So we go to pages, we press plus, new page, and let's call it success. And here we need to put all these texts. Just a second, copy. Yep, like this. And we need to change them to white. Let's create a stack. So I select both of these layers and I press Option Command Enter to create a stack. And now I need to create this button. So I select the text go back and I press Option Command Enter to create a stack for this text. And now I need to add some fill to it. So I'll make it white and I'll change the text to this darker blue color like this. And now I need to change the width of it. So I select fit content for the width and fit for the height. And now using paddings, I will add some dimensions to it. So on top it will be 16, on bottom 16 as well, and right and left will be 24. And let's make it a little bit round corners. So I go to radius and I add about 12 pixels radius. And now I need to select the frame, the whole frame, and create a stack out of it. You see that everything is now in the center. And on top, I want to use height for it. I will leave it fixed. And I need to select the distribution inside of this outer layout center. Yep, so it goes like that. And the only thing I can do also, I can change the gap between the button and the text. Okay, now it looks fine. Let's add tablet version and mobile as well. So nothing to change here. Basically, it looks all good. The only thing I can do is I can change this to fill this text over here, and I can make this whole out layout center. Yeah, that's right. But the text here can be also centered, and I can add some paddings inside just to move it a little bit like this, about 20. Yep, looks fine. And maybe I can change the paddings. Oh, the gap between the button and the text here. Yep, now it's fine. Let's go to home and let's add breakpoints as well. But before that, of course, we need to again create an out layout for the whole page. Again, centered. Yep, now it looks fine. And maybe some gap between these two lines. Yeah, like this. Let's check it. Looks fine. The only thing is that I'm concerned about the height. Now it's 40 pixels. So I need to select the text and the form here and create another stack. So create another stack, and here I want to use viewport. So it's actually inside the viewport. It will be in the center of the viewport. Viewport is the actual height of the monitor of the user. And now you see the problem is that it's in the center of this frame, and I want to change that. So I select the frame and I use start, so it's on the top. And here I can use fit content, so it actually the main frame fits content of the inside stack, and this stack is the height of the viewport. So when I click preview, it's going to be always in the center. And now I can create a tablet and the phone version as well. So everything looks fine. Let's go to success and do the same thing here. So we need to select these two stacks and create another one. And this one is going to be in the viewport. Yep. And now I select the desktop and I use fit content and distribution from the start. So now it's fine. So everything should be okay. So it's in the center. The only thing is that I want to change the gap between the button and the text for 40 pixels like this. All right, so I go back home. Now I select my form. And here, the very important thing is that when I selected the form, there's a special option for the form, and it says send to. Now you can add email, for example, your email, where you will collect all the emails from this form, or it can be Google Sheets. And we need redirect to our success page. So when the person fills this out, he clicks submit and he will be redirected to our success page. Let's check it out. So let's play it. So let's fill it. Some email here. I click submit and nothing happens, right? Nothing happens. That's because we're not submitting actually. So we need to add submit to, and for example, we need to add some email here. It can be anything, just put something like this, or yep, and that's it. And let's play it again. It's just a sample email. I need to fill it out. Yep, and submit. You see, it works, right? And now I can click back home, and it doesn't work because I need to link it to make it going back home. Yep, so the link here. So when I press back home, it goes back to my form. And now we need to add some cool animation to make this success page more special for a user. What we need to do, we need to work with the code. So we need to add override for our page. And override in Framer basically is an option of adding your own React components or your own code that will override some of the options that are on the page. In our case, we're going to be adding a code of the component, of the Confetti component that I created, and I will share it with you. You can get the remix link to this file in the comments below. So don't forget to look at the description, and of course hit that like button to make this video seen by other designers, and it is very important to me. So please hit that like. And of course, please subscribe if you haven't already. So what we need to do, we need to go to our home. Oh, well, actually, it doesn't matter on what page are you're on, or success. And we should go to assets. And in the assets panel, we'll find code. And here in the code, you press plus. And now you can create a component, or you can create override. We'll be creating a component, a special component with custom code that will be included in our project. So when you're going to be getting this remix link from me, you can copy the code inside of this component and insert it into your project. So we'll create a Confetti component like this, and create, press create. You see, Framer gives us some sample text, some sample code. We'll delete it, and now we need to insert our code over here. You see, I inserted the code, and I need to press Command S to save this component. And on the right, we'll see the animation when we insert it into our page. So basically, we go back to our success page, And now in the components, we'll see that we have this confetti component. You see, it works already here. So let's go to assets and just drag and drop this component inside of our page. We'll remove the gap here. And our component is inside, you see, is inside of this page. And now when I select this component on the left, on the right panel, I will see that I can do actually some customizations with it, and I can add different emojis, and I can add something like this. Oops. Like some hamburger. And I can add more. Let's add some more. Oh, actually we have this one. Let's add heart. And let's add rocket. Also, we can play around with the number of the actual emojis, and we can play with the size, make them larger, and the duration. Let's put it like this. And now when we go to our home page, let's play the prototype. Let's insert some email, click submit, and now we see this cool animation on our success page. Thank you so much for watching, and don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already, and please like the video so other designers can see it in their YouTube. My name is Sergey, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.